Happy New Year, church family and friends. This is our very last episode of Connect 360. I'm Pam.
And I'm Brian. We're the Fettermans.
Aside from working full-time at Times Supermarket, I'm helping to care for my mom, running errands, and or cooking comfort foods for elderly relatives and friends.
I still see my students every day on Google Classroom or face-to-face, and Sundays I get to come and pray with Pastor Sterling.
We are looking at plans to come back to in-person worship on January 17th, so please stay tuned on our website and social media for the latest updates.
This week, let's check in with the worship leader Matt Lopez and his family.
Hello, we are the Lopez family. This is our Connect 360. In August, Corbin started to go to preschool. He is learning a lot. He loves to sing worship songs and brings home a lot of projects. Caleb started kindergarten in August. It was online only and transitioned to blended learning. Caleb now attends school twice a week. Caleb has learned how to use his school laptop independently. We are blessed that Grandma Lynn helps him when Mom goes to work. Mom continues to work at Polymomy. She has to wear a mask and eye protection all day long. Sometimes she has to take care of COVID patients, but it's okay because she got her first dose of vaccine.
Dad started to work from home on the kitchen table or at Grandma Lynn's house when Mom goes to work. Now he goes into work more frequently but still works from home. As a family, we like to do crafts, go to the beach, and play outside. During the pandemic, we built a home garden and completed a few projects around the house.
As Dad continues to lead worship online, we really miss going to church and singing songs. We also miss seeing our friends.
We wish you a blessed New Year.
We love seeing the boys. They're growing up so fast.
For this week's devotional, let's listen to what Pastor Sterling has to say.
I read a story a while back about a mother who she was preparing pancakes for her two sons. Her two boys, Kevin, who was 7, and Ryan, who was 5, they began to argue over who was going to get the first set of pancakes hot off the grill. They began yelling at each other, calling each other names, a little shoving here, a little push there, and even running over to the stove with hopes of trying to snag those first pancakes before the other. Their mother saw all this. She saw all of it happening, and she saw this opportunity for a moral lesson, a life lesson of sorts, sort of a spiritual life lesson. She told her sons, if Jesus were sitting here, picture it now, guys, if he was sitting right there, he would say, "Let my brother have the first pancake because I can wait." There was a pause. And their mother, she waited as Kevin turned to his younger brother, and she knew that this was the moment of truth. She knew that this was the defining moment that would make Ryan look up to his older brother for the rest of his life. She had waited for this moment since Ryan was born, and it was finally here. The aha moment, and with great anticipation, she willingly waited a couple of more seconds. And as Kevin turned to his younger brother, and with tears welling up in her eyes, she watched as he looked into his brother's eyes and said, "Ryan, you be Jesus." Not exactly what she had expected, huge letdown on the mother's side, but really, I believe that this is how we are a lot of times in our Christian faith. We know that the Lord loves us. We know what He desires of us, but it's easier to be a bit more comfortable, and more comfortable to want other people to be Jesus. Ephesians chapter 5, verses 1 and 2, it says this, "Follow God's example, therefore, as dearly loved children, and walk in the way of love, just as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God." This new year, when we encounter those defining moments, the ones similar to Kevin and Ryan's as their mom observed them in the kitchen. Well, when we encounter those defining moments, remember Paul's words and walk in the way of love. My prayer is that as we take in the new year, as we try to impact the community around us, that we do so walking in the way of Christ's love.
Thank you, Pastor Sterling, for connecting us to God's Word.
And thank you for joining us on Connect 360 for the past 3 months.
You can catch all 12 episodes on YouTube or Facebook.
See you online Sunday.
Bye.